I want to show you a little bit more of this clip from the cross-examination of Alex Jones, where he was forced to finally admit that it was 100% real. Sandy Hook.
I have said before that there have been so many lies and so many things in the past, and I was under a lot of pressure. And I truly, when I said those statements, when I say something, I mean it, that I really could believe that it was totally staged at that point.
Your Honor, the child that they found in my servers, it was ironic. Your Honor, have you ever heard of Vosh? Anyways.
And I was basing that off of really Steve Pachenik, who has been a very prestigious person.
Do you understand now that it was absolutely irresponsible of you to do that?
It was, especially since I met the parents, and it's 100% real, as I said on the radio yesterday, and as I said here yesterday, it's 100% real, and the media still ran with lies that I was saying it wasn't real on air yesterday. It's incredible. They won't let me take it back. They just want to keep me in the position of being the Sandy Hook man. My son got confronted yesterday.
Objection, speculation as to what the media wants. Mr. Jones is just being on the show.
Sustained.
Well, they won't let me move on. Let me remind you, when this was being said, days prior, a single day prior, he was posting that picture of the judge that he's working with burning. Okay, so you know, what can I say? But for a little bit more on like the judge's attitude and why she's acting like this, I want to show you a little clip of her having to chew Alex Jones out for his continued disrespect of the court and his counsel's continued disrespect of the court. So this is a quick 1 minute, 30-second clip. I want you to take a look at it. Because if you liked Alex Jones and his pussy posse being shit on, I think you'll enjoy this.
Mr. Jones, you may not say to this jury that you complied with discovery. That is not true. You may not say it again. You may not tell this jury that you are bankrupt. That is also not true. You may have filed for bankruptcy. I don't know that, but I've heard that. That doesn't make a person or a company bankrupt. You're already under oath to tell the truth. You've already violated that oath twice today in just those two examples.
Good Lord.
It seems absurd to instruct you again that you must tell the truth while you testify, yet here I am. You must tell the truth while you testify. This is not your show. You need to slow down and not take what you see as opportunities to further the message you're wanting to further, and instead only answer the specific and exact question you have been asked.
So basically, she has to treat him like a complete child who has already knowingly perjured himself, as she is
Mr. Jones
saying. Thank you, Mr. Jones. But if you want to not only have her say that I think that you are lying, let's have the prosecution talk a little bit about this, okay? And unfortunately, this is going to be inside of an CNBC clip, but I think you'll get the point. And a couple other bad memes that Alex has had to go through. When he figures out that his own, so this, you'll be able to see the exact moment where he figures out that his own counsel had betrayed him.
Did you know that 12 days ago, your attorneys messed up and sent me an entire digital copy of your entire cell phone with every text message you've sent for the past 2 years? That is how I know you lied to me when you said you didn't have text messages about Sandy Hook.
That from the lawyer for the parents of 6-year-old Jesse Lewis. He was murdered in the Sandy Hook massacre. Alex Jones' defamation case now in the hands of a jury. A judge already found him liable, but now this jury will decide how much he has to pay the parents. Jones testified under oath he could not find any of his text messages or emails that mentioned Sandy Hook. The attorney for the parents read some of Jones' messages in courtroom today. This one about an InfoWars article claiming a hospital was using dummies in a coronavirus unit. Jones suddenly broke into a coughing fit during the exchange. Listen.
Mr.
So the lawyer had him sweating so hard. Look at this man.
Watson says this is a video of a medical student trained to intubate. Makes us look ridiculous, suggesting this means COVID is fake. Sandy Hook all over again. I read that correctly?
Yes.
Here's the next message.
Good lord, he's not happy. This guy is not okay. He's like, fuck, I thought these were gone. Wait a second. Oh, wait, hang on. What are you talking about?
What'd you tell Mr. Watson?
I get it.
The lawyer.
I get it, he says. I don't think he gets it. I don't think Alex Jones really gets it. I don't think he understands how much trouble that he's in for what happened. So I'm gonna... One moment. Okay, I think this is it. Okay, yeah, I think this is it. Here we go.
You guys have all this stuff and you say we didn't give anything. It's
Mr.
ridiculous.
Jones, you know how an iPhone works, right? You've had iPhone text messaging for several years now.
Yeah.
What does it mean if the messages are in blue? Whose messages are those? Whose phone is this taken from?
I don't know whose phone's taken from. I mean, I turned the phone over and said, take the stuff off.
Can I have you look in the very bottom below the very bottom left corner? Is that your phone number?
Yes. So you did get my text messages. And it said you didn't. Nice trick.
Yes, Mr. Jones.
Good. Who is this guy? I've never heard a lawyer feel himself as much as like this lawyer is. He's cackling like a maniacal villain. Holy crap. Yes, the Bond villain voice. What the fuck? I hate when my enemy yells after him to his goons. Get him, boys. What the fuck? I would too. Yes, Mr. Jones. A funny trick indeed. Yeah, it's literally, you've activated my trap card, Kaiba. You can't defeat me, Yugi, with your cheap tricks and bad cards. My grandfather's case has no bad cards, Yugi. It has no bad cards, Kaiba. Oh no, my grandfather's case has no bad cards, Kaiba. Oh shit. Oh, what has he done? He's assembled all 5 pieces of Exodia. Fucking ridiculous. It's true, Alex Jones's lawyer, the prosecution lawyer, should bring up the trans porn that he found on Alex Jones's hard drive.
Indeed. You didn't give this text message to me. You don't know where this came from. Do you know where I got this?
No.
Mr. Jones, did you know?
So this is, if you didn't know, this is the very moment where the prosecution is telling Alex Jones for the first time how he got these text messages, because Alex Jones is completely shocked and flummoxed how any of these messages are in the hands of the prosecution at all. And so this is the first time he's ever hearing about this. So I'll just let you enjoy this part.
Mr. Jones, did you know that 12 days ago, your attorneys messed up and sent me an entire digital copy of your entire cell phone with every text message you've sent for the past 2 years, and when informed, did not take any steps to identify it as privileged or protect it in any way. And as of 2 days ago, it fell free and clear into my possession. And that is how I know you lied to me when you said you didn't have text messages about Sandy Hook. Did you know that?
I told you the truth. This is your Perry Mason moment. I gave them my phone, and then...
Mr. Jones, you need to answer the question.
No,
Good Lord, he's not okay. He's squirming. Oh, listen, when you found out that I lied to you and lied in court, that's how you know I was actually telling the truth. When I told you I had no clue where you got them, I'm telling the truth. What's all this drama? Holy, what the fuck? Yeah, what the prosecution attorney doesn't know is that at the end of Alex Jones's statement, he did a /J for slash joking. He did a tone indicator just so you could understand. It's vitally important. It's vitally important. It's just like when Edgeworth portrays his client. Oh, 100%. So basically what happened is that the lawyers didn't look at any of the shit that they sent over to the prosecution. And if you accidentally send something to the prosecution, you have 10 days to revoke it, to say you can't look at that, to say that's not what we meant to say. You could like intervene and be like, yo, this is not what we meant. Let me take it back. 10 days lapsed. Defense didn't do shit about it. And so that means the prosecution could just look through it. And that's when they found that this boy was lying to him this entire time. So just so you know, all of these text messages are text messages saying explicitly things that Alex Jones has said were not true, didn't exist, and are lies that the prosecution asked if they had. Okay? That we were just sitting on his phone, which is insane to think of, that he was going to lie that brazenly to court without thinking anything bad was going to happen to him. So he told them that these text messages didn't exist anymore. He didn't know where to find them. He thought that they were all deleted, or there's no way that they could be recovered. It finds out, instead of that being the case, they were all just sitting on his phone.
No, I didn't know this happened, but I mean, I told you, I gave him the phone over. Just
And you said in your deposition, you searched your phone. You said you pulled down the text, did the search function for Sandy Hook. That's what you said, Mr. Jones, correct?
And I had several different phones with this number, but I did, yeah. Well, of course, I mean, that's why you got it.
No, Mr. Jones, that's not what happened.
My lawyer sent it to you, but I'm hiding it. Okay.
Mr. Jones,
Mr. Jones,
please just answer questions. There's no questions.
He's trying so hard to
Mr.
squirm.
Benson also only ask questions.
Sure. Mr. Jones, in discovery.
Mr.
you were
Dunce.
asked,
Damn, even, holy shit, even closed captions are fucking on this guy. This is a bad day for him. What the hell? Mr. Dunce. Closed captions, no.
do you have Sandy Hook text messages on your phone? And you said no, correct? You said that under oath, Mr. Jones, didn't you?
I mean, if I was mistaken, I was mistaken, but you got the messages right
The
there.
judge is
You
like,
know what
fuck.
perjury is, right? I just want to make sure you know before we go any further. You know what it is.
Yes, I do. I mean, I'm not a tech guy. I told you, I gave in my testimony the phone to the lawyers before, whatever, and so you got my phone, but we didn't give it to you.
No, Mr. Jones, one more time. And please remember, if you need to assert your Fifth Amendment, you can. I need to know that you can do that. But you testified.
Holy crap. The prosecution judge is dunking on this guy so hard that he has to tell Alex that this is so bad for you that you may have to just step down and leave. Also, I'm not even sure, wait, can you invoke your Fifth Amendment right when you're on the bench? Is that true? Can you do that? Yeah, you can? Really? Even after like direct examination? Yeah? Wow, okay. So he's perjuring himself on the bench with the possibility to say, I'm not going to answer that question, so I'm not going to incriminate myself. But he answers the question anyways. Is that just to make sure, so I completely understand what's going on? Correct. This is a grown man. He's this fucking stupid. He's a grown man. He could just leave. He's there voluntarily. Holy shit. You sit on the bench, think you're gonna clear your name, and then this happens? Oh man.
Under oath, previously, that you personally searched your phone for the...
Yeah, I know he didn't have to sit on the bench, because when you go to, like, you know, be a witness in your own case.
We come together.
Thank you, Bernie. You don't have to do that. You could always just not speak. You don't have to incriminate yourself. But I didn't think after you say that you can speak and then you're sitting on the bench, I didn't know that you could invoke your Fifth Amendment in your own case after you've already done direct examination. The lawyer said you're gonna perjure yourself, and Alex just kept talking. Yeah, he just kept on going. This is incredible. You can invoke Fifth whenever. He is the dumbest boy. I can't even think of a dumber boy than this boy right now. This Alex Jones has won the trophy as today's dumbest boy. Wow.
Phrase Sandy Hook, and there were no messages. You said that under oath.
Yes.
And you lied when you said it.
No, I did not lie.
Did you lie to us? Yes. Did you lie? No. Oh no, dude. It's all falling apart. It's all falling apart. Absolute clown show. Dude, big floppy feet, honk honk, red nose, rainbow hair, clown show. Not fair, clowns have a respectable profession. It is true, clowns are far more respectable than Alex Jones is. It's not too late, you can delete. Nah, he doesn't back off of these memes. But when it's so bad that you have to be asked what perjury is by the prosecution lawyer, you know it's not good for you when you're making a face like this. Like, can we be honest with ourselves? When you show up to court and you're sitting on a stand and you're making a face like this to the prosecution, it's over for you. It's over, buddy. You're not gonna make it. You're not gonna make it, bud. I'm sorry. What can I say? New yike face? Yike. One singular yike. I must say, one singular yike. So after this all happened, okay? After all of this went down, we're coming up on the end of this debacle, all right? This went so poorly for the defense that Alex Jones's defense, after he came down from the bench, had to file an emergency motion to hopefully salvage what's left of their case.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We filed an emergency motion for protection this morning. I want to outline a little bit of the facts behind that. A couple weeks before trial, a file transfer link was sent to the plaintiff's attorneys, specifically Mr. Bankston. That link linked up a lot of files that shouldn't have been connected to it. Mr. Bankston immediately recognized that the files contained therein were confidential, attorney-client privilege, and contained medical records of people, a whole variety of things that should not be turned over. And he pointed that out to me, and I responded to him. He said, I take it this was sent in error. And I responded to him and I said, it has been sent in error. Please disregard the link. I will work on preparing a new one. I believe, based on that communication, that's what was going to occur. I mean,
so basically what he's saying is that I did send over 2 years of evidence showing that my client lied several times to court knowingly, while the evidence literally sat in his pocket. But I promise you that I said, oopsie daisy, whoops, please don't look at that after I did. I promise you, Judge. Please, please, please help us, Judge. I'm begging you. So I had to beg to the judge to allow this to happen. While that was going on, and while they're deliberating that, this lawyer is also still not done sending Alex Jones's text messages around to everyone, basically, who asked, because his lawyers are also sending his text messages to the January 6th panel. The January 6th committee is now going to have Alex Jones's personal text messages to see what he's been doing and seeing if it's worth a criminal prosecution for what he did on the Capitol based on the evidence that he said that doesn't exist on his text messages on his phone. So we'll see what happens with that. It is still getting worse for Alex Jones. As soon as they were like, ooh, you're telling me 2 years of private text messages are just sitting there, and we know exactly what he was doing and talking about privately in a perfectly maintained format on January 6th. We'd like to have that, please. Fed leans into Alex Jones. Yeah, tell me what was going on. Hey man, can I see your phone? Hey, what's going on over there? And the lawyer said, yep, we're gonna give him over. I guess I can go back to this face Alex is making, because this is probably the way that his face is going to be stuck with, probably for the rest of his life, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. It is not going well for him. It is one singular yike. And to add the cherry on the top of this shit cake that Alex has found himself in, as we've been doing this stream, the jury finds Alex Jones caused $4 million in damages to two Sandy Hook parents. Two of the parents. So this is not a case of all of the parents. Only two. A singular kid. And he was hit with $4 million. They came back near instantly from deliberations and all said that he should be on the hook for $4 million in charges to this one family of 16 who are suing him. So that's fun for him. And remember, he said specifically in court that a $2 million that a $2 million suit is going to, you know, send his company under, right? He's already filed for protective bankruptcy to try and hide all the assets from the Sandy Hook family survivors and the people who and victims, right? Having secured 1.5 million in fines from Jones, the plaintiffs are now due 5.6 million that Jones will have to pay. So this is the attorney for the parents that you saw, the guy who was like clowning on Jones while in court. So they're just racking up the dough on him. So right now he's on the hook for 5.6 million in damages and fees, and that number is only going up. As soon as they saw them win this, there's a high likelihood more families are going to come out and be like, if it's that easy to win against this guy, we're going to be doing that as well soon. So Alex is not in for a good ride whatsoever, let me tell you. And let me remind you one final meme from this court case, and another lie that Alex Jones told to court, which is that he said that his company was not making nearly as much money as the prosecution said that he was, right? He said that during the peak of like Sandy Hook and today that InfoWars was not taking in more than $200,000 a day. Actually, the reality is that InfoWars was making $800,000 a day that Alex Jones just didn't want to talk about. Every single day, he was just farming and raking in cash off of the still warm bodies of the children who passed away in the attack on Sandy Hook. That's a lot of money that he just pretended did not exist. So we're just gonna have to see how that goes. Alex Jones is an insane person, but what this teaches us is that when insane people meet reality, things don't go that well. And this isn't like some sort of like funny little internet debate where you can just pretend it never happened. This is something so incredibly brazen that this is going to stick with him possibly for the rest of his life. The amount of money that he is going to have to pay these people is going to be obscene, and I'm here for every second of it because he deserves every second of it. Wait, only 5.6 million out of the possible 150 million? No. So they got 5.6 million in total damages awarded against Alex Jones in court. They asked the court for 150 million out of a possible 150 million or more, right? That could be possible that the jurors could levy against him. So in these types of damages suits, basically how much you pay is how angry you make the jurors, almost unironically. Right? So if you have a really bad case where you act really, really bad and the prosecution asks for a certain amount of money, it's likely, all things equal, you're going to have to pay that much, right? So they have that range that they could look at. So it could be like 0 and you're not on the hook for any damages, or it could be 150 million, which they say you're on the hook for all of the damages. It was not likely that they were going to get that much, but they just say that number because they could have, it's, technically possible that they could have gotten a $150 million judgment from Jones, but what's more reasonable is probably $4 million, right? If we're just talking from like the jury standpoint, which means that he fucked up real bad. $4 million for these people after 10 years of suffering. I'm not going to say that money is going to help heal the wounds or anything, but it is better to make, because they talked about on the stage, like that family, that mother who was crying, she's talked about how wild and unfortunate it is that instead of him just stopping, they had to go through court and drag all this trauma up again and had to force him to stop through this court case. Not just he stopped on his own or, hopefully didn't even start in the beginning. They had to force him to stop with this type of legal action. And it is incredibly sad. But I hope Alex Jones is in for more suffering because the likelihood that he is very high. So we'll keep up on that.